Hello there, Mia Gradney here with a look at what's making headlines in Houston, starting with a fire investigation in Galveston County after fire ripped through a Dickinson neighborhood, forcing families from their homes and sparking a desperate rush to get out safely. New video shows just how quickly those flames spread as crews fought to keep it from getting even worse. Here's Anayeli Ruiz with more.
Investigators telling me 4 homes caught fire today, one completely burning to the ground, while 2 others they believe might be a total loss. Dramatic video captured by a neighbor shows the moment a house goes up in flames in Dickinson today. You can hear an officer who first arrived on scene yelling. Neighbors later told me they were trying to get a dog out as the wooded structure was burning up. In another video you can see
to save the dog.
They were able to pull out the dog just in time as first responders arrived on scene.
Heavy fire in the primary house where the flames are still going from the natural gas line behind there. And then with the heat, radiant heat being given off by the house, both exposures on both sides of it were starting to ignite.
The blaze reaching both houses on either side, catching those 2 homes on fire, and the wind so strong, even blowing embers across the street.
Got in the attic and the roof and started the fire off in another exposures.
Firefighters were able to pull the pets from the other homes as neighbors rushed, worried they would be next.
Yeah, I've got a beautiful dog. She's the best woman I ever had in my life. And that was my first priority, is get my Lucy out.
As I'm driving over here, I had a bunch of neighbors calling me. They're like, hey, the next door neighbor's house is on fire. It's the one next to your house. And I was starting to freak out.
Firefighters were finally able to control the fire, getting aid from at least 5 neighboring agencies in the area. But one problem remained for a few hours.
The natural gas line that's broken underneath there, and we can't reach the shutoff, so the gas company's going to come out and have to locate where the line is, dig it up, and pinch it off.
The gas line burned until the gas company showed up and was able to shut it down. Fire crews were able to put out all the hot spots, and now many of these neighbors are counting their blessings tonight. In the meantime, they say they're praying for those who lost it all in the blaze.
They're good. I mean, it sucks, but they have a lot of support from us, from a lot of the neighbors.
Well, investigators believe at least 6 people might have been displaced today. The fire marshal still working to figure out what exactly caused this fire. In Dickinson, Anayeli Ruiz, KHOU 11 News.
Now to more victims of check washing who are sharing their story with KHOU 11 News. One woman says she found out Friday thousands of tax dollars meant for Spring Branch ISD went to the wrong person. She's working on getting her money back, and the U.S. Postal Service is looking into the allegations. Troy Kless has the story on what you can do to protect yourself.
This town and country post office behind me is where one woman says that she dropped off her check, and we've spoken to multiple others who have similar stories. This woman tells us that a criminal cashed a check worth $12,600. That money came from Christina Valley, who says her family was paying property taxes to Spring Branch ISD. The school district's name was replaced with the suspect's name. Valley says she thought she did the right thing by dropping the check off in person at the post office.
And not just dropping it in a box somewhere or putting it out in yours for your carrier to pick it up, from your mailbox. So, I mean, that's the thought process, And yes, we could have paid online, but you have a huge fee to pay it online. So it's a shame that it's come to this.
The American Banking Association recommends using an e-check and to not write other personal information on checks. The U.S. Postal Service tells KHOU 11 it is following up with Valley for further details. It's unclear if this case is tied to the 50 others tied to the arrest of a postal worker in the Sugar Land office. We've reached out to Spring Branch ISD for comment, and we've yet to hear back. Reporting in Spring Branch, Troy Kless, KHOU 11 News.
The city of Houston is quickly becoming a top spring break destination. Local tourism officials say this March could be the most lucrative, that is, on record, with visitors expected to pump hundreds of millions of dollars into the city's economy, especially with rodeo season now in full swing. Katira Winfrey has the story.
Everything is bigger in Texas, and Houston is living up to that big time with big crowds and big money.
People come into our city they spend their money, and then they leave, but their money stays here.
Michael Heckman is president and CEO of Houston First, and while they don't have a month-to-month breakdown, compared to this time last year, Houston hotel bookings are up 12%.
That kind of an increase means millions and millions of dollars, not just for our hotels that are here, but then that translates more into restaurant spending and transportation and attractions and all the rest of the things that happen here. So that's a pretty substantial jump.
Houston as a brand, Heckman says, is growing. With all demographics consuming social media, they've invested a lot in social media influencer support, and it's paying off. Lauren Bass is on spring break.
I mean, honestly, trying to figure out what I was going to wear, I looked up TikTok videos from Houston Rodeo last year, so I think social media has a huge influential impact.
March, Heckman says, economically is shaping up to be the best month ever, thanks to conventions, Rodeo Houston, Spring Break, the Baseball Classic, and up next, March Madness. Alex DeBarros lives in Houston. Her niece, who lives out of state, are visiting the rodeo.
It's really cool to see like the rodeo and something different from Florida.
They're happy to see Houston's diversity draw in crowds.
I think Houston's like a melting pot. You know, there's so many different types of backgrounds here in Houston. So there's great food, there's great events to go to.
And that was Katira Winfrey reporting. And sticking with the rodeo, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is making new changes after fights at the carnival over the weekend. Rodeo officials say they are working with law enforcement and will deploy more officers if necessary this final week. They've also updated their guest code of conduct, including a dress code aimed at keeping the event family friendly. This includes banning excessively torn clothing, visible undergarments, or clothes that show too much skin. Violating these could get you thrown out. And with that, that's a wrap of your Houston headlines. I'm Mia Gradney.